Hey folks, and welcome to this video on 6 ways to round numbers in Google Sheets. Most people know the rounding function. You type it in, it works, job done. But then real scenarios kick in. For example, you need prices that end in 99 pence or cents, or you're ordering stock and you can't afford to underestimate, or maybe you're billing in 15-minute blocks. Suddenly the round just isn't enough. So in this video, I'm going to show you the 6 rounding functions that you actually need in Google Sheets, and more importantly, when you should use each one. Let's go through them now. So first up, on the screen we've got here the round function. This is the classic, everyone knows this one. So we'll just do an equals round, that comes up here. We'll choose the number we want to round, and then we can choose how many decimal places we want to include here. So we just put a comma. I'll just show you here, if we just drop this down you'll see. So now we've got the number of places, and this is an optional argument, we don't have to put this in, but if we put 2 here you can see we get 2 decimal places. So this 5 is rounded up. So 3, 4 rounds up to the nearest one, which will be 12.35. So we just close the brackets and hit enter. And let's just apply that to these as well. So you can see there that that's how we do that. Nice and simple, and because obviously we can do this without any rounding at all. So we can just leave it like this and just close the bracket as it is by the default, which will basically be no decimal places. And you can see there that rounds either up or down depending on what's closest. So that's a typical round. I'm going to come back to this array function. This is a really interesting way to round numbers with one single formula, so we'll come back to this. So let's move on now to rounding up. So round up works the same way, but it always rounds up no matter what. So very similar to the last one here. So we're just going to do the equals round up in this case. And we choose this number again, and of course we can put the number of decimal places that we want. Same answer that we got before because it's rounding up. And you can see here this one's rounding up again, same as before basically. 658 will round up to 66, so that's that one there. And then the same again for no decimal places. Pretty straightforward. So in this example, let's imagine that there's 21 units that we want to order, and we want to figure out how many boxes that will be. So we can use the round up formula here. So we're taking this cell, we're dividing it by 10 because we know that there's 10 items per box, let's say. And we round this to 0 decimal places. So we can see that this is telling us we should get 3 boxes. Similar situation here. Obviously this is, if this was 10 items per box, so we've got 10 items again here. 10 items won't fit into 3 boxes, so this would push into 4 boxes. So that's an example of how you might use a round up formula. Let's have a look at the round down next then. So basically this is just the opposite of the round up, so it always rounds down. Where round up protects you from underestimating, round down keeps you conservative. It's great for budgets, estimates, or anywhere where you'd rather stay below the limit than creep over it. So same scenario here, equals round down. We'll choose the value and we'll put the decimal places in, and you can see now that that's gone down to 12.34, whereas previously it went to 12.35. Just accept those, and that one went to 101.65. And then again, round down with no decimal places, and we get what you'd expect. So this is rounding down to 9 and 101. Again, we'll come back to this array formula. This is really a really interesting feature. So let's move on then to the MROUND. Now this is where it gets interesting. MROUND rounds to the nearest multiple of a number you define. So most people are used to using decimal rounding, but multiples are a completely different idea. So with the MROUND, in this scenario, we can actually be quite specific and define exactly what we want on the answer. Let's do MROUND. Choose that, and we'll choose the value. Now here, instead of defining any decimal places, we'll actually define exactly what we want as an answer. So let's say for argument's sake we want to round to the nearest 5 pence or the nearest 5 cents. We can just say here 0.05, and that will round it to the nearest multiple. In this case 0.83, so 0.85 is closest. If this was, let's just hit enter on this one, and if we change this to 0.82, this will come down to 0.8, you can see. If we put that to 2 decimal places. All right, so that's how that one works. And now this is really key when you're talking about times. If you wanted to, build to the nearest 15 minutes, for example, then this is a perfect formula for that. So let's have a look at how that works. So MROUND on this value here. And then what we need to do is we need to build in a time factor into this now, because obviously we need to tell the formula what we're looking at. So let's use the time function. And then what we're going to say is we need to define what the hour, minute, and seconds look like. So we want 0, 15, and 0 for seconds. So that's now asking for our factor. So that is effectively our factor here. So this part here is the second part of our MROUND function. So this part is the first part of the MROUND, that's this part here, the value, and this part behaves like the factor. So let's just finish that with the brackets there, and you can see there that it's rounding to 12:45 with no seconds here. And if we just accept these as well, you can see here, so this one here is rounding down rather than up. If this was 12:53, this would go the other way. You can see here actually this is a perfect example. So this is in 29 seconds, and then we've got 30 seconds, and it rounds up rather than back down again. And then you've got 12:59 rounding to 1 o'clock. So this is perfect if you're billing in 15-minute increments or whatever it is, maybe it's an hour or 30 minutes. So MROUND is perfect for that scenario. So let's move on then to the CELING function. So CELING is like MROUND, but it's always rounding up to the next multiple. It never goes down. The classic case is like 99 pence pricing. So here's how it works. So we're doing equals CELING, and we'll choose our value here. And then it's asking for a factor again. So as we did before with the factor, we're going to factor it to 1. So we want to keep this to a whole number. So you can see here, this will round up to 13 in this case. So remember, it's always rounding up. And so what we can do in this case is we can actually close the brackets on this formula now, and then we can add a little bit extra. So we can say minus 0.01. And you can see there, so we had 13 with this here. We had an answer of 13 from this value here. And then effectively we just took away a penny from that answer there. And so what we get is £12.99. So that's a perfect way of getting this type of pricing if that's what you're looking for. Now maybe you're looking for £12.95. I mean, you could do it like that. So that is kind of how that works. So this is perfect really for that scenario for pricing. So let's move on then to the floor. So floor is kind of the opposite of ceiling. So it always rounds down to the previous multiple. So the best example here is a billing of time, I suppose. Maybe you've got a client that ends at 10:43 and you only bill them for the completed 15-minute blocks. So you want 10:30, not 10:45, for example. Let's take that example here. So we'll do equals floor. We'll use this as our value, and then for our factor we'll do the same as before. We'll use the time, and we'll set the time as 0 hours, 15 minutes and 0 seconds. Close the time, bracket, parentheses, and close the parentheses on the whole formula, and you can see there that we're getting a result of 10:30. So this is rounding down, it's going to the floor for this value here. And of course we can do it just with a typical number, if we wanted to do the sort of the pricing element again. So let's do the floor. So we've got the value here, and then we want a factor of 1. So we're rounding down to a whole number, and effectively in this case, and then we're going to just take away minus 0.01, and so then we get our £11.99 pricing. So this is rounded this number down from 12.345 down to 12, and then we took a penny off of that 12 to give us the £11.99, and so that's how that works. So let me show you this bonus tip for an array formula. So what you can do is you can enter one single formula, and instead of copying this down like we've done before, you can just enter it once and then have it applied to all values in a particular column. So all of these functions I've shown you will work as an array formula. So if we do equals, and we're going to state a condition now. So we're going to say if, and we're going to select this column here. Now you can select the whole column if you want, so we could just take this end number off, so we're just looking at the whole column, and we're going to say if this equals nothing, then we want to return nothing. But otherwise, if this is false, then we're going to do our MROUND in this case. Yeah, MROUND. And we're going to do this same column again, so we'll drop that 5 to make it open-ended here. And we're going to set that with that pricing that we looked at before. And then we'll close the parentheses on the MROUND, close the parentheses on the if statement. And now all we need to do is we need to hold Command Shift and hit Enter on a Mac, or Control Shift and Enter on a PC. And we get this array formula. Now you could type this in manually at the beginning of the formula, or you can just use those keyboard combinations to get that array formula. And that will apply everything that's in this array into this array next to it. So if we just hit Enter now, you can see we've got one single formula here, and it's applied. So there's nothing in this formula except the result in this bar here, except this result here, and the same here. The formula is just one single formula, but it applies it to every row beneath it where this value has a value. So if I put something in here, you'll see that it automatically applies it. So anything that happens will automatically get added, and that's a really good feature for the array formula. You don't have to manually update things when they change. Okay, so to put it all together, before you pick a rounding function, just ask yourself 2 questions. Do I need to round up, down, or to the nearest? And am I rounding to the nearest decimal place or to a multiple? Answer these 2 and you'll find the right function. If you found this useful, I'd appreciate if you could like and subscribe. I've got the full breakdown of the examples that we used here on the website, and I'll put the link in the description box below. But that's all for today, folks.